Hi, Taurus Sun, Moon, and Rising. This is going to be your January 2020 mini cross reading. I have with me today the Impressionist Tarot. We will be clarifying with Levita Sibila, and we'll wrap the reading up with a Golden Nostradamus card. Do be aware that we are under a Mercury retrograde pre-shadow phase. If I'm not mistaken, I think it goes, I just looked this up for somebody else, so I'm gonna have to write this down for the next video. Let me see. We're looking at the end of the month. Okay, so we're all, believe it or not, we're already in the middle of the month pretty much. And so Mercury will station retrograde January 30th at 26 Aquarius. But also we are between moon phases. So we had our full moon in Cancer on the 29th. Our new moon is going to be in Capricorn on the 12th, so in a few days. So this is an opposition. The full moon fell in Cancer, which rules the home, and the new moon is going to fall in Capricorn, which rules your work, your career, that sort of thing. So you may be looking at two diametrically opposed oppositions or situations, people, even yourself. What do I do about this versus that? Okay, so be aware of the energy. I would suggest, if you have any projects that are going on, anything, you might want to start trying to either get to a point where you can stop or wind those things down, because when Mercury comes in and it's falling in Aquarius, which is ruled by Uranus, which rules technology, so things like computers, the internet, the cell phone. So it could be that, you may lose coverage, you may lose service. So back up your stuff, back it up. And always, as always, under a retrograde, go back and review, rework, rethink, revise, revisit, re-edit whatever projects you were working on when the last Mercury retrograde occurred. Okay, that's always a good rule. So I'm going to turn the camera around. I still haven't figured out a good lighting spot in my new little spot in my office here, so just kind of bear with me. So I'm going to turn the camera around, and we're going to get started. I've already shuffled the cards and did some meditation on your sign. I'm going to give it one more good shuffle, and we'll start with the mini cross. One more rifle. Here we go. We start out with the situation pretty much as it is now, or the energy of how it is now. The Ace of Wands. So some kind of new project, creative idea, maybe even a new sexual relationship. Here is the unknown factor. It is the Fool card. There's our Uranian energy that I was speaking about. And if you can see, I don't know if you can see clearly, that he is like doing a tightrope on this wall. One side's got flowers, the other side is dark. We don't even know what that is over there, right? So there's that. All right. This is what we know. The seven of coins. Seven of cups. Can you see that image of that guy kind of asleep? This is, I've got to figure out a better lighting situation, but there he is. Yeah. Okay. This is the near or distant past. Oh, there's our King of Cups. Can you see him? Let me see if I can. That's just even crappy. There he is. I wish you could see him close up. I'll figure it out. And then, well, I just saw what was on the bottom of the deck. Maybe you did too. Here is the last card. This is the near or distant future. The Seven of Swords. Wow. Now, for those of you who are new to tarot cards, or you're used to looking at the Rider-Waite deck, what I will tell you is that every deck has its own language. It speaks differently, okay? So I'm going to tell you what that means, because it's not the traditional Seven of Swords, which speaks to theft and treachery and lies and deception. But I will not rule that out, okay? Underneath the deck, we have your ruler, the Hierophant, ruled by Taurus. So what this tells me is several things. You see that the guy has a key. Let me see if I can figure this out so you can really see this guy. He has a key there. Put this card down. See it? But if you'll notice here in the background, there's two keys drawn on the curtains behind him. Those curtains represent those two different pillars, the light and the dark. Excuse me, the positive and the negative. Taurus, your ruler, rules your second house. It rules the house of personal possessions. So we're speaking about your own personal possessions that you own, your own car, your own stocks, your own bonds, your own bank accounts, your own charity, your own apartment, your own mortgage, your movable possessions. But it also rules, the second house does, your self-worth and values, okay? What is more precious than gold? Who or what is more precious than gold to you? Okay, is whatever it is that you're faced with worth the time, the effort, and maybe the money? Like my mom used to tell me, don't cash a check that your butt can't, don't write a check that your butt can't cash. Don't write a check that your butt can't cash. Okay, so sometimes that's that energy. I'm trying to say it right. So I have one court card. So I'm not exactly sure if this is somebody from your past that you're dealing with. Would be perhaps a water sign individual, Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces. But also, this person in this deck has to do with the law. So this could be a lawyer, a judge, a mediator, something of that nature. Someone who, for all intents and purposes, can be empathetic and sympathetic, but also and wise. That's not always the case either, okay? So, but just know that it could be someone that you're dealing with, or could represent what they do as a profession, all right? I think I have 2 7s here, okay? And 2 7s, let me make sure I got it right. I've been moving stuff around in here, so 1 second. So I can give you the meaning of the 2 seconds. I thought I had, oh yeah, it's right here. Okay. 2 7s can speak to self-confidence issues causing instability in the relationship. But 2 7s can also, let me see here. I don't have it with me. I want to say 2 7s warn of false friends. Okay. So again, the 2 7s say self-confidence issues may cause instability in the relationship, but it also warns of false friends. All right. Let me give you this meaning of the King of Cups out of this deck. Because the King of Cups says, this King of Cups symbolizes business, law, or the ministry. You may need an advisor for guidance, or you might play such a role yourself. This is definitely the start of something new with this Ace of Wands here. I think it's predicated on something that you have had some kind of vision or fantasy about. Maybe you've gone to sleep and you've had some dreams how to solve a problem. But this card also can be speaking to you just that of fantasies, saying that, you're spending too much time in the ether and not really focusing on what you need to focus on. I think what's interesting is that there are these sailboats in the background. See the sailboat here? There? Can you see them? I don't know how I'm supposed to show you this. Hold on. Because my lighting is just not right. See the sailboats? Okay. And then we've got this big sailboat with the cups on it. Oops, he's upside down. So to me, this Fool card is the idea of trying to balance or walk between, for lack of a better term, two different worlds. The Fool card encourages you to take risk. It encourages you to try something new, to step out on faith. But there's always a negative to every card in the tarot. And the other card is, don't be so foolish that you're putting stock in a whole bunch of fantasies and dreams and ideas. You know, you're going to have to do the work, do the research, do the work. Be more prudent and more cautious using all of your discernment and your reason to determine what's the best thing for you. Because what may be good for you, all right, may not be what someone else agrees with. You may be opposed in yourself about, what the best thing is, but what you think other people are going to think about you because of it. Let me read to you the 7 of Swords here, because it's not the normal, lies and deceptions, but it just says that in this deck, the 7 of Swords describe work that begins or ends in darkness. Okay. Now, it can also refer to a secret mission that goes unrewarded, but it could also lead to infamy and disgrace. All right. So I feel that for some of you, you may have a choice to begin some new project with someone, or you may be getting some legal advice about this new project, or it could say that you are really not focused on something's being done in the dark. So this could be something that you're not aware of. Maybe it's you doing something in the dark that maybe this person's not aware of, right? So here comes this Hierophant. And the Hierophant says, it's kind of that old principle of do unto others as you would have them do unto you, but it's really about your self-worth and your self-value. If you're in a situation where you're putting in more time, more effort, more work, but you're not getting the reward, either the recognition or the finances, right? That's completely unfair, and that can eat up on your self-worth and your self-value. But it can also be you doing the same thing to other people. You're taking credit for their work. You're doing things in the dark behind their back because you're trying to bump yourself up, right? But then the question becomes, if this all crashes down on you, right, is it really going to be worth it in the end? You're free to do what you want to do, as is the other person if this is in opposition. So what I'm going to do is I want to look at, I have also seen, and let me put this out, that when these cards show up, a King of Cups with the 7, you might be dealing with someone who has fantasies, they're pie in the sky. They may have a drinking problem, a drug problem. Here with this Fool card, they're tripping the light fantastic. Okay, this may be something that you are completely and wholly unaware of. They're doing it behind your back. They're doing it in the dark. All right. But this says to me, particularly with the direction that he's moving in, that those things are going to come home to roost. Perhaps in a timing. Yes, that's going to happen. But this could also be the timing that this is going to happen within a week. So we do know that we are under this moon phase thing in the next few days, and we'll be getting another one. So let's take a look at what this, I want to see what this Fool card is all about. I'm going to start at the top because that's our unknown energy. Right now, it's like, maybe you're on the fence about taking that risk or jumping in or going somewhere or doing something, thinking outside the box. But you may have somebody who's going to muck it up for you, or at least make it complicated at this particular point in time. Well, isn't that funny? I don't know if somebody has come and asked you for assistance. This is the Lamika. The Lamika is an individual. She's just a friend. She can sometimes be a relative, or, but if it's a, but it's not a very close relative, not like a sister. So this could be like a cousin or something of that nature. And basically what she does is she assists you. She may give you advice. She may let you come to her house and stay there or do something at her house. Sometimes she will offer you financing, financial assistance. But we see the Il Nemico. Now, the Il Nemico will always show up when you may know this. You do know this person. This is what the card indicates. And the card says that how do you identify the person? You identify the person because every time you are around this person, you get a bad feeling about them. Okay. And so pay attention to that bad feeling, because this person is going to end up causing you a whole lot of grief in what area it is around. We see it here. There's the anguish, the sadness, the depression. Why? Because this has been, for lack of a better term, some type of foolish venture, or will be, or is heading that way. Let me take a look at this Seven of Swords. That's the near future. So if this is a financial issue, if you've already, committed, sometimes it can be contractual issues. If you've already signed the contract, well, I would have somebody go over it again, a fresh pair of eyes. I would do it particularly before the end of the month, even though we're under the pre-shadow phase of Mercury retrograde, because if you wait till the end of the month, it's going to be another, 3 to 4 weeks before it's cleared up. So if you think you can afford to wait that long, okay, then do so. But while you are waiting, you want to revise, rework, re-edit, review that particular contract, okay? Last cards, and then we're going to pull a Lost Nostradamus. Here we go. The 7, the Vedovo, the Costanza, and the Messaggere. Well, this card can sometimes be the idea of some type of communications. That's what swords are. Swords are thoughts, beliefs, perceptions, ideas, and communication. And so what this is telling me is you're dealing with someone who, no matter what you say or what you do, is just not going to budge from whatever they think, they believe that they or say. All right. In fact, the Costanza card kind of says that this is a persevering situation. You will be receiving news, letter from far away. That's what that says. It doesn't tell us the nature of it, but typically this is within about, the time frame is about a week. Okay. In other words, what this is saying is whatever the situation is, if it's something being done in the dark, if it's some tricky, sticky situation, false friends, that situation is going to stay that way for the time frame. And usually cards are read out for about 2 weeks. You can be, near the tail end of this if you recognize the situation. You could be right in the middle of it right now, or the cards are telling you that this is coming up. So just know that there's going to be some difficulty. I don't think it's something that you won't be able to get out of, but it's going to be some difficulty. With the Hierophant. Sometimes that Fool card can be somebody who kind of leads you astray by being, telling you lies, making things seem better than they are. Okay. Fantasies. Here is your Golden Nostradamus card. Number 17, the Knight. And this is interesting. So I want you to pay attention, because the meaning of this card is different from what these cards are telling you. It says, I know him well, and he loves only you. Pining and aching, no other will do. A wedding is on the horizon, or perhaps an alliance with an important, noble, or powerful person is in the offing. Academic diplomas, honors, or newfound freedoms or powers may arrive. That's what this card is all about. So there's some type of contractual issue. Even if it's a wedding, it's a contractual issue. But there is somebody afoot. I don't know if this is maybe like the person that you are doing, that you're renting the space from, or you're renting the building from, or the materials, or if it's the caterer, if it's the planner, then know that you're not going to, whatever assistance that you need, you're not going to receive it. And I hate to be blunt like that, but that's what it is. So you might want to look to your own personal possessions to get through this. I don't know what that means for you. So that's what I have for you, Taurus, Sun, Moon, and Rising. I do hope that helps. And until next time, namaste.